Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today we're going to take a look at the new, as yet unreleased, Nokia's KP1. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at these. These are the new KP1 from Nokia's. These are brand new, redesigned AirPod clones from Nokia's, redesigned from the ground up, and these are super special. These are the first ones that I've seen which actually are possibly even better than AirPods, but we'll go into that a little bit more in more detail shortly. So in the interest of clarity, now these have been sent to me from Nokia's, so it's not a sponsored video, but they have sent them for free for review purposes. They've also sent me an additional pair to give to one of my subscribers. So if you want to be in to win a set of these Nokia's KP1s, which you'll probably receive before the actual general release of this product, because they're not actually on sale until October the 8th. So if you get in early and enter to win, you could actually get them before they're released to the general public. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, Nokia's KP1. So KP1 is short for NokPods 1. Like I said, these have been redesigned from the ground up by the team at Nokia's based on feedback from pretty much you guys who've been watching these videos, people who've bought them previously, and the kind of wish list of things people wanted from AirPods, with them being pretty much 100% clones, but also wanting a little bit more for their money. So let's go through a list of some of the specifications to see what they've improved on this model. So first of all, we've got new in-ear sensors. So these are designed so that when you put them in your ear or take them out, the actual sensor on the bud itself does actually recognize that it's in your ear and will play or pause or turn off the AirPods accordingly, depending on what you're doing. Now, with these new ones, there are no LEDs in them, and there's no Chinese or English sound effects or voices, that kind of stuff. These are all essentially exactly the same as AirPods. So when you put them in your ear, you get the kind of ding-dong noise. When you take them out, etc., you get that kind of thing as well. So no annoying LEDs and no annoying voices. Now, all of this sensing and the activities within the iPhone, especially like pop-ups and battery levels and that, are based on a clone of the H1 chip. So this is what is in the original AirPods and the AirPods Mark II, which actually give you the pop-up effects, battery levels, and all those kind of features. So there is a cloned version of the H1 chip inside these. Now, my favorite part of this is the improved sound and bass quality. Now, I know every single revision of these, they get a little bit better, but these actually are now got to the point where they are louder than the original AirPods, which is something which a lot of people have requested. So these are now louder than the AirPods. The sound quality is indistinguishable. So if you had AirPods originals, genuine ones from Apple, and you switched them over and put these in, you would pretty much be hard pressed to notice any difference at all in audio quality. If anything, the Nokia's sound a little bit brighter and a little bit lighter in the highs and mids. The bass level is pretty much identical. The original AirPods were slightly lacking in bass, which is due to obviously the design, how they're made, so they are going to be slightly less bassy than in-ear earbuds, but considering these are clones, they sound absolutely fantastic. Now, next thing is battery life. Now, the battery life has been much improved, so these, you're looking anywhere between 4 to 6 hours of playback time, depending on your volumes. Obviously, if you listen at a higher volume, then the battery is going to go down quicker. That's the way the world works, unfortunately. So if you're listening to kind of mid to low volumes, you should expect to get 6 hours of playback time out of these, which is fantastic and also is very comparable to the original AirPods. So that pretty much wraps up the improvements that have been made to them. So let's get them out of the box and take a look and see what we actually get. So actually, first of all, before I take them out of the box, let's take a look at the box, because this is actually one of the parts which, for me, is actually a benefit of buying these from Nokia's. Now, on the market, there's lots of other clones around from various different companies. I'm not going to name any names, but there are some particularly accurate copies of AirPods, which even go as far to reproducing the Apple logo and also the Apple sign writing created by Apple, made in China, all that kind of stuff, printed actually on the boxes. Now, for me, ideally, you don't want that, because especially living in the European Union, customs officials can seize your shipments at any time. So if you do order them from kind of AliExpress, Alibaba, Wish, all those kinds of places, you have to be really careful, because they do inspect the things coming into the country. And if there is a copyright infringement on a batch of goods, they can seize your goods. And basically you're left without any money and without any AirPods, which is not great. So these from Nokia's, although they look and feel and sound almost identical, if not better, than the originals, because there's no actual copyright infringement as in logos, these going to go through customs, no problems whatsoever. Now they may look at them and say, well, they look similar. They do look similar, but they're not a genuine rip-off or a counterfeit knockoff, if you know what I mean. So the chance of them getting seized at customs is very, very minimal. Going on as far as that, the actual packaging itself, as you can see, the packaging is different from AirPods. It says Nokiz on there, so it's got its own branding. The actual size of the AirPods on the front is different, and you've got the KP1 logo embossed in gold, which obviously the original AirPods won't have. On the sides of the box, you've got KP1 on that side, and the rest is blank. And on the back, again, you've got a slight difference. It looks similar to the AirPods, but it's not a 100% knockoff. So again, at first glance, is a customs official, if they saw this, they'd be like, well, okay, it's not a counterfeit product. It's absolutely fine. So it says on the back, NokPods 1 with charging case, www.nokiz.com. And as you can see, this is a Nokiz product. So if you get any of these on the market called KP1s or NokPods 1, and they don't say Nokiz on them, it's not the same ones. So if you've got any questions about them, please refer them back to where you bought them. Not me, and definitely not Nokiz. So anyway, that's out of the way. Let's get them out of the box. So first of all, we've got our instruction manual, and again, it's a printed manual by Nokiz. So KP1 by Nokiz user manual. And it says there, please read carefully this manual before using this product and keep it for future reference. Totally agree. So inside we get all of our specifications and how to actually use the device itself. So let's go through quickly some of the specifications. So Bluetooth 5.0, which you'd kind of expect at the moment. Communication scope, which I think is the actual kind of like the limit of the Bluetooth, is up to 10 meters, which works absolutely fine. I've been using these today whilst doing some housework and answering emails and that kind of stuff, walking around. And it's been absolutely fine, no dropouts whatsoever. The Bluetooth been absolutely spot on, 100%. Some of these other clones, you get the thing where you kind of turn your head from side to side and you lose connection, which is a sign of a bad Bluetooth module, but these have been absolutely brilliant, no problems whatsoever. Frequency response, you're looking at 20 Hertz to 20 kilohertz, so that's a pretty wide range. Most of your bass levels are down at that low level, around about your 20 Hertz mark. Very few of these will actually go much lower than that, so your bass response is going to be absolutely fine. Your subsonic is going to be absolutely great. Sensitivity is 107 decibels sound pressure level, plus or minus 3 decibels, so you've got pretty good sensitivity there. Protocols supported HSP, HSF, A2DP, and AVRCP. So pretty much all your protocols are supported there for streaming from other Bluetooth devices. So Android, iPhone, Fire Sticks, Fire TV boxes, anything that's got Bluetooth, essentially, you should be able to connect to these with no problems whatsoever. Battery life, they're saying 3.5 to 4 hours, but in my experience and from what I've seen from other reviewers and feedback, these can last anywhere up to 6 hours. So that's a little bit of an underestimation, which actually I quite like to see. Standby time, about 20 hours on a full charge. The charging box for USB charging, so the actual box itself, which we'll take out in a minute, takes an hour to charge. If you're charging wirelessly, which is another great feature, you're looking at about an hour and a half to charge. Headsets themselves, the buttons, now this is another slight change which I kind of like. They don't have touch controls, they have tap controls. So with touch controls you can get all sorts of things going wrong with them, misreading your fingerprints, or even just when you're sort of adjusting them in your ear, you end up calling up Siri or changing a track or whatever it is. It's always been a bit of a pain of mine. But with these, you've got a knock control, so it's a physical knock, so you have to tap them a little bit harder than you would normally within touch controls, but actually it works like much better, especially if you're out and about doing things. You can just tap them and it just seems very natural, very easy to use. So for me, this is actually an improvement. Some people may prefer the touch controls for the softer touch, but I actually prefer this with the knock sensor. So again, if you get these and you try them out for yourself, let me know what you think of them in the comments section. I'll be interested to see what your opinions are. Next one size is the product size. So the battery product size, the charging box, I'm not going to go into the dimensions, but essentially it is exactly the same size, shape, and pretty much weight as the original AirPods. So looking total weight of about 39 grams. I think the original AirPods were about 39, 40 grams. On various videos I've seen people measure them and they always turn around about the sort of 39 to 41 grams. So essentially they're exactly the same weight, shape, size, all that kind of stuff. So that is pretty much it from the specs and the stuff in the box. Let's have a look what else we've got. So obviously we've got the pods themselves in the case. Got some really nice packaging. You've got a high quality cable, which actually I've used one of these already and it doesn't come up with this, this accessory is not supported, all that kind of stuff. So It's not one of those cheap ass cables you get down the market or off of Wish for like 50p or something. This is actually a decent Apple style cable. It's not Apple certified, but it's certainly the next best thing. So that is everything in the box. Let's take a look at the pods themselves and the charging case. So it comes in a nice sleeve to keep it protected. And there we go. There is the case itself. So as you can probably see, it is identical to AirPods 2. The layout, the shape, the size, everything apart from the writing on the back where it would say designed by Apple in California, made in China, all that kind of stuff. The only other slight difference I've noted, which some people may pick up on, some may not, is the actual size of the LED aperture. So where the LED shines through on the front is marginally different. The kind of like the bleed through of the LED is slightly different, where the plastic must be a slightly different quality. It looks and feels the same, but for some reason there's a slightly more pronounced glow from the LED on the front on these than what there is on the original AirPods. Totally unimportant, doesn't affect the performance in any way, shape or form, but I thought I'd let you lot know. When it comes to the rest of it, the design, the button on the back is still very nice and flush and well made and doesn't want to rattle around. The silver strip on the back is actually that kind of brushed aluminium or brushed silver type effect, and again feels very nice and very premium. The flip on this is actually really nice. It's got a very nice action to it, and it snaps shut with quite a force actually. I think they've uprated the magnets slightly as well, so there's a very, very good tight seal all the way around the edge of the case, which is going to be great for preventing dust. But obviously if you are concerned that you may get dust or debris in them, you can get some of the AirPod dust protectors, which you can check out in a link up here. But all in all, I don't think you're going to need to. These are very well sealed and it does fit very, very snugly together. So let's take them out and look at the actual pods themselves. So the pods themselves, again, virtually indistinguishable from the original. The only thing I would say which possibly slightly stands out is the actual seam where the plastic is welded together. The actual seam is slightly more pronounced, but again, you'd be extremely hard pressed to notice that against the originals. And the other thing which they've done, whether it's a copyright thing or not, I don't know, but the actual font they've used for the left and right markings on the earbud stems is a very, very slightly different font than the original Apple one. Again, for me, that's a good thing because it means it's not a complete rip-off and is unlikely to get confiscated at customs, all that kind of stuff. I know I keep on going on about this, but it is a thing, it does happen, especially here in the EU and the UK. Quite often you get things stopped at customs and they keep hold of it, or they're checking it or whatever, so you do have to be quite careful about that sort of stuff. Some other countries may not be quite so sort of hot on those kind of things, but over here, copyright theft, there's stacks and stacks of like Nikes, Levi's jeans, AirPod clones, all that kind of stuff, just sitting in a big dock in the customs area, just waiting to get passed or destroyed. It is a pretty bad thing. Anyway, I'm going off topic. So the rest of this is essentially it's one for one. The sensor on the outside, the ear sensor, completely working as it would be on the originals. On the inner side, you've got the bass port or the speaker port, and again, you've got the sensor dot also. On the front, the grill is almost 100%. I can't tell any difference at all. The grill actually looks a slightly finer mesh than what it was previously, which is going to be great for preventing water ingress, dirt ingress, all that kind of stuff. And easier to clean. Obviously, it's inside your ears, so you are going to want to clean these periodically. With the ones with a slightly wider mesh or a more spaced mesh, you do sometimes find that the dirt and debris will actually get past the mesh into the speaker itself and cause it to be muffled or cause one of them to be quieter than the other, which is a real pain. But these actually, the mesh looks fantastic and looks very easy to clean. Moving down to the bottom of the stem, again, we've got the typical design. So each one has its own built-in microphone at the bottom, again with a mesh, and you've got the two charging points, which makes it nice and easy to clean. So if you've got any issues with the charging or whatever, because of dirt, debris, grease, all that kind of stuff, really, really simple to just get yourself a cotton bud or whatever and some alcohol and just give it a rub to clean off any dirt or debris. So absolutely brilliant. Can't fault them at all. They look, feel, they don't cost the same. They cost considerably less. Actually, that's something we haven't touched on. Cost of these. So at the moment, they're on the Nokis site for $72.99. That is the pre-order price. That may change after October the 8th. I don't know, they haven't told me one way or the other. I can't see them actually going down in price, so pre-order price should be the best price you can get at the moment. For the extra, what, $4, $5 over the Air 2 pop-up, I think these offer a little bit more for your money. Personally, they do sound louder, the bass is a little bit more responsive, and again, you've got the in-ear sensors and all that kind of stuff, which just work, which is really good. So, how do we pair them? Well, this is actually the really easy thing. So all you do is, when you've got them in the case, when you first get them, literally you lift the lid and it'll pop up on your phone saying, not your AirPods, do you want to connect? Click on connect on your phone. When it says, when you've clicked on that, the button on the back, you just press and hold it until the screen on the phone tells you that they're connected, and that is it. The first time you're done. After that, all you need to do in the future is, when you want to use them, is literally flip the lid, take them out, put them in your ear. You may find if you've got other Bluetooth devices connected or other AirPods connected, you may have to connect on the button that says on there when it pops up saying, do you want to connect, all that kind of stuff. But if you've only got one device connected, it'll just connect automatically, and all your audio calls, all that kind of stuff will be routed straight through to these. So there we go, that is pretty much all I can say on these at the moment. Again, these are pre-order at the moment, so if you're watching this almost on release date, they aren't actually on sale, or they won't be delivered or dispatched until October the 8th. So if you do want to get them in, get a pre-order in so they don't sell out too quickly. If you want to be in with a chance to win a set of these, all you need to do is in the comments section below, just put, I want to win them, and tell me why you want to win them and where you live, and I'll put you in for the draw. Now the draw will be announced in one of my live streams. It will either be the Saturday after this video is released, or the Saturday after, depending on time, schedule, and that kind of thing. But if you tune into the show and you're a regular subscriber and you commented on the video, then you're going to be in it to win it. So I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. This has been the pretty awesome Nokia's KP1, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video or live stream. Thanks for watching.